What's up, sports bettors? Alex here, and we're going to be going through some plays on PrizePicks, okay? They now have a 6-pick flex play, right? So the way a flex play works is you can see right here, you get 6 out of 6 correct, you 25 times your money. You get 5 plays correct, 5 out of 6, you get 2 times your money. You get 4 correct plays, then you get 0.4 times your money. So you lose 60% of your stake. Right? So if you go 4 for 6 and you bet $100, you get back 40, you actually lose 60. So what we're going to be doing in this video is I've gone through the math, and the math for a 6-pick flex play is very similar to a 5-pick flex play where you're getting minus 119 implied odds, right? So you can see right here on OddsJam, a 5-pick flex play, you should assume on PrizePicks that you're getting the implied juice of minus 119, right? So basically, all that means is when you're looking for plays on PrizePicks and you're playing a 5-pick flex, you should assume you're getting minus 119 odds. So why is this Sam Bennett play so good? Well, take a look. Every sportsbook has this juiced from minus 175 to minus 191. So I say this all the time, but like in sports betting, there's no perfect answer. What should the exact odds be? That's not the point. The point here is we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. The OddsJam column is just the Pinnacle column. We have 8 sports books all telling us the exact same thing, right? They're all telling us that Sam Bennett over 2.5 shots on goal should be a heavy favorite. Pinnacle almost has this minus 200 as a 2-1 favorite. So again, like sportsbooks, they imply win probabilities through their odds. The fact that sportsbooks have Sam Bennett as almost a 2-1 favorite means he's roughly 2-1 to go over 2.5 shots on goal, right? The over is 2 times more likely to hit than the under is, right? So you can see here, you use all this data in the market, and sure, there's no perfect answer, what should the exact odds be, but every sportsbook's market is telling us the exact same thing. This play is an absolute no-brainer, being able to get Sam Bennett over 2.5 shots on goal at minus 119. So that's the first play I went with, right? And I'm playing a 6-pick flex. So then there's some other flex play entries you could go through, but what I ended up doing is using the screen. Right? So the screen is really powerful. And the reason it is I basically, for shots on goal market, I find a lot of success in this, is I basically just look for where do underdog and PrizePicks, it allows me to process a lot of data quickly. Where do underdog and PrizePicks have different lines? So what you'll notice is right here. Here's the first discrepancy. Andre Burakovsky. Do I know anything about this guy? No. Do I care? No. But what I do know is PrizePicks has his line at 2. Every other sportsbook has his line at 2.5, has his over-under at 2.5. So we're clearly getting value on PrizePicks, being able to get his shot total just at 2. So I took his over, right? And the reason I took his over is Underdog Fantasy has 2.5. So if this guy has 2 shots on goal, we're pushing on PrizePicks, and our 6-pick flex is turning into a 5-pick flex. Everyone else who bet on a sportsbook or they included his over on Underdog Fantasy, they're losing if Andre has exactly 2 shots on goal. So clearly a lot of value being able to get over 2. Granted, the sportsbooks do have the under slightly juiced, right? Minus 145 on 10bet, minus 145 on BetMGM. But the jump from 2 to 3, like the probability when the distribution is centered around 2.5 shots on goal, like the probability this guy has 1, 2, or 3 shots on goal is the bulk of the distribution. So that, being able to push when there's 2 shots on goal versus, betting him at 2.5 is a big discrepancy, right? And you can see that, right? Underdog's half a goal higher or half a shot on goal higher. So we can continue to scroll through. That's play number 2. Again, we have 6, and I'm literally just scanning. This is exactly how you bet. And here's the next play. It's like, okay, Sam Bennett. Oh, that's the play we already had. right? So you can continue to go through and look for these big discrepancies. And here's another one. Cal Macker, right? His line on PrizePicks is 3. So in this case, underdogs 2.5. Sportsbooks are 2.5. So in this case, we want to take his under, right? The value's on the under. Because if he has 3 shots on goal, we're pushing. Anyone else who takes his under on the sportsbooks or underdog fantasy, they're losing. So picking up that extra half a goal, it really means a lot. So we can continue to go through. That's play 3. Then we have Trevor Zegras. 2, 2.5. We want to take the over. That's play 4. Right? And you can continue to go through. It really is just like a manual process. Anders Lee, we want to take the over. That's play 5. 5 plays with value. Scanning the market, just looking for value. It's not that complicated. If you're betting on rebound totals, if you're betting on, player points, if you're betting on assist totals, player threes, this is exactly the strategy that sharps, full-time sports bettors are using to make money off PrizePicks and Underdog. They're looking for where PrizePicks and Underdog differ, right, from the sportsbooks. And the easiest way I've noticed is to look where PrizePicks and Underdog differ, right? And then compare them to the rest of the market to figure out where the value is. Is the value on Underdog or is the value on PrizePicks? Because again, 2 to 2.5 in terms of shots on goal, that's basically like, you got to consider that's massive, right? Like 0, 1, 2, 3. That's what the distribution is centered around. 2 to 2.5 is massive. It's a lot different than an NBA player points total being, Luka 32 versus 32.5, right? 32 versus 32.5 for Luka's point total is completely different than Anders Lee shots on goal, 2 versus 2.5, because this guy probably 90% of the time is having 0, 1, 2, 3, or 4 shots on goal. So that's play 3, or 5, I apologize. And then the final play, there were a bunch of different ones you could kind of select for the Penguins, for the Penguins Hurricane game. You have Brian Rust, you have a bunch of different plays. But here's what I ended up going with. I'll just show it at this point. 6 hockey plays, all really good. Hopefully you guys are able to lock it in, and let's make some money.